Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies, live on January 27, 2026. Iran has deployed drones to hunt down the United States ship Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier of the United States Navy, which is currently in the Gulf of Oman area, getting ready to launch an attack, to launch what could be the last chapter of the Ayatollah regime. Family, your feedback, military strategies. Let's start. Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Military Strategies and Current Events. Iran has sent drones to chase the aircraft carrier. Did you hear that? Something we hadn't seen until now, but at the same time it was happening, there were also drones from the United States of America monitoring the area. Everything is occurring simultaneously all at once. And we're going to see it here on Military Strategies, as well as see what Iran might have deployed to try to sink the aircraft carrier, its secret weapon. If you like the Venezuelan Rakmak saga, don't miss today's show, because you're going to see the Temu Rakmaks from Iran. Don't miss it here on Military Strategies. Welcome to your information channel. What's the situation right now? The United States has said we have deployed a fleet even more powerful than the one in Venezuela, just as you're hearing, even stronger than what is in Venezuela. Is it true? We'll find out live on Military Strategies. Thank you for joining us live. You can support us by liking and commenting. This is free. It's free content. We don't make subscriber-only restricted content. Here, everyone has the right to be informed, and it's free. And also Breaking was covering it. This morning, Junior was covering it, in quotes. I'm expanding on what happened in Parchin. Something has exploded at the base where they're building nuclear weapons. The Quds Force, the Revolutionary Guard Force, has confirmed explosions in Parchin. We're going to find out here. We're going to go see it. We're going to check out all the details. We're going all in with the family, with everything. Here on Military Strategies, breaking news about what's happening, about what's going on in those lost worlds of Parchin. Fear, a lot of fear, because also Netanyahu has come out as well to send a little message to Iran. And this is starting to make sense about what's going to happen and how the attack will be, who will start it and who can end it. Don't miss it. Let's get to it. Family.
Yep.
Important topic. Today, the Revolutionary Guard reported the following. The Parchin facility in Tehran, a sinister place, a place that was attacked during the 12 Days War, a place that, moreover, the United States and Israel know what's inside.
Parchin.
Instead, on the outskirts of Tehran, near a reservoir that's supposed to provide water, but that water, in truth, The water from Parchin doesn't go to the citizens. Let's see here. There we are. This is the Parchin area. Let's zoom in. We head north. We can see it around here. We're coming back. Here it is. Underneath these facilities, Iran's nuclear weapons are being developed. Bunkers, underground facilities, anti-aircraft defense systems, warehouses. There is talk that there could be uranium, and that at some point in history, a nuclear detonator test was even carried out in one of these warehouses. One like these, like what you're seeing, a small mini bomb created for testing. If it was possible to do it, well, the news would break and we had to wait for the satellite to confirm it for us. Something exploded in their hands. Parchin, National Aeronautics and Space Administration fire radar. Thank you. In this area here, Parchin, on January 27, 2026, at 4 o'clock. Approximately, something has exploded. Let's locate it. Let's geolocate the place. We're looking for a reference point, south exit of Parchin. This area. It seems from what we see that these are cargo containers. We see some bunkers here. We see some suspicious trucks. Let's study this place. Let's see what could have happened there, because I have a theory. And now we're going to see it. Thank you. Strategias has his theory. The first thing we identified: guard posts, restricted access. It means that this facility could be related to the missile program. Second, what do we see? No bunkers. We see underground structures. We see more bunkers, more structures that go underground, lots of bunkers, underground structures. We see a perimeter wall with watchtowers. We keep seeing that this base, it's a base. What we're seeing here is full of missiles, and we're going to keep looking around here for... We keep investigating. Real-time reconnaissance. We're investigating live right now. Family. I haven't seen this area before. We're seeing it now. What is this? This is anti-aircraft radar. Here we see it, the different antennas, structures, and cables that go to the control center. If there's a radar, there has to be a missile launcher. What's going on? Let's continue. Here, is there another one? Radar or anti-aircraft cannon? Could it be controlled with this cable you see here? Look at the mouse, the line it's drawing. And this is the control room of that anti-aircraft battery. Okay, now we have 2 cannons or a radar. 3. Or it could be, look, 2 cannons and a radar. This one here. Good. Anti-air defense for drone attacks. And this? What are these things?
Us.
Missile silos. Underground. Or locations where anti-aircraft defense can also be deployed, although I suspect they might be silos. Call me crazy? What else do we see around here? Debris zone. Vehicles. Small cargo containers could be for missile fuel. Right, here are the missile cylinders. That's where the fuel is stored. Subscribe to the channel. Let's keep watching. Containers. Trucks. All right, let's see now. The history. Since when? That's been there. Since when? 2017?
Damn.
2015.
Fair.
2014. 2004.
Bro.
Veteran install. 2002. Interesting. Well.
Oh.
Well, this is getting interesting. Look, why not very far from there? Oh. I think, look at this. Well,
Oh.
whoa. Whoa, family. Oh. Sing and don't cry. This looks awful.
Oh.
Pay attention to something, okay?
Bye.
All right? What we see here is the typical place where you can set up a radar protected against anti-tank systems. You can set up an anti-aircraft system here too. Well. Look at the entrance. This is 2004, huh? And this too?
Damn.
What do you want to bet? Sorry, I'm focused on this. It may seem boring to you, but I believe we found a gold mine. Why did they bury this?
Look.
Look here. And up. They have built a structure on the surface but below. This is amazing. Look how clearly we see the structures in these images. These ones aren't built, they're not finished, but these ones are finished, so they could be assembly or manufacturing plants. This is a missile factory. 100% sure, or I'd say 99% it's a missile factory. Look at the number of bunkers here with missiles, all stored. The missiles come out from here. And what could have happened here? Well, I already have my own theory clear. What happened here is that the handling of one of those missiles has exploded. The fuel has exploded. And it has burst. See how they put it by people's houses? Next to the buildings? It's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible because also, those trucks we see are for mounting the missiles and taking them all over the country. These are the famous portable launchers, camouflaged in civilian vehicles that we've talked about so much. Look, these trucks carry the missiles. Something must have happened to them over there, and they blew up. Look, check it out. They have a plane here. Or a plane was flying by at that moment. Yeah, a plane flying. Well, what a discovery. Good discovery, huh? Missile factory. All right. Let's go to the sea. It's way too hot right now. Let's go to the sea. Iran's aircraft carrier, Bagheri. Name of the carrier, Sahid Bagheri. And now what? We'll get back to that now. What's happening right now in real time? Family? The P-8 Poseidon of the United States of America, the naval warplane, is now closer to Iran. Friends of the Revolutionary Guard, please look inside the Strait of Hormuz at 8,000 meters altitude. They have a P-8 Poseidon which you are seeing and not shooting down. It's inside Iran's air control space. We're watching it happen right now. World It's a challenge. It's a complete challenge. Let's see who shoots first.
Zero.
The United States isn't hesitating. What's that plane doing? What's happening? Is it identifying targets to later launch an attack? Collection of messages. Ships, maritime control. But what happened today? Here we see it. Overlord, the MQ-4 Triton from the United States, was on its patrol in the was leaving. This is in fast motion. Was heading. At that moment, it was crossing paths with another plane that was coming. Overlord was on the runway. Of Iran. Here we see it. He traveled all over Kesh Island. He was mapping the locations of anti-aircraft defenses and deployed missiles. And then Overlord changed course. Went down to Haas, the area you're about to see now. In this area, Overlord began flying. He returned. 3 in the morning schedule, Overlord returned. From that mission, a military plane from Armenia appeared around here. For a few seconds, Overlord returns, and pay attention to what is going to happen. Returns, repeating the same pattern, route, and scan. But Overlord detects something at that moment. Overlord detects the presence of someone. Something was happening there. Overlord is not alone. Overlord returns. The MQ Triton returns. A plane from Oman was also taking off over there. The drone returns again. You're going to see what's going to happen. Same route traced, and again it checks that there's something there. In this area, there was something. The drone retreats. Pay attention to what you're about to see. Why didn't the drone descend to finish its route?
Down.
Is this the third or fourth time it's doing the same route? It gets up to there and crosses.
Oh.
This time it does cross, makes a turn, and starts scanning Bandar Hash. Where is this important one? Watch what comes next. It goes towards the interior. Now you'll see what happens. Contact with the drone is lost. The drone disappears, even though you can see it's moving east. The drone's last line is there. It turns off the transponder and something appears. A second drone appears. This is SEP 2501.
Uno.
A drone from Iran. Over the diagonal.
Al.
Nam said. An Iranian drone appears. This is what I saw. Iran sends a drone to search for the aircraft carrier. It heads south, turns, and looks around there. Family, we're live. Breaking news on military strategies. What you can't see anywhere else, you'll see here. Look at the drone. Look, look, look. And at that moment, Overlord comes back again, and they're going to cross paths. There he goes, getting closer to him. First incident of the United States of America with an Iranian drone on January 27, 2026. Look at what's happening there. The Triton stays in the area, although you can see that it's leaving. It's not in the area. The Iranian drone continues. This looks like some kind of match. War games. The Iranian drone keeps searching, providing protection to Bandar Jazz. Does that mean that where this drone has appeared, the Iranian aircraft carrier would be there? Well, at least the aircraft carriers pay attention because look, it's heading south. It's going to look for the aircraft carrier. Look at how it's scanning the entire coast of Oman. And at that moment, the United States drone appears again, far behind, a hug. And then it disappears. The Iranian drone vanishes and reappears. It starts observing again. Second, the family I just lost. Here we are. It vanishes at 1:54. It appears again. Look, there it is. There it is. I'm curious, what have they been doing there? Have they been looking for the aircraft carrier? Have they been giving Iran a view? Maybe soon we'll have video from Iran with the aircraft carrier. And while Overlord was still there, the United States drone was still doing its thing all this time. Let's look for more activity. There's another drone, excuse me. Shadow, there's a drone in this area. Look. It's going to show up around here. In this area, the northern part of Bahrain. It shows up around there. Of course.
What do you mean?
Why are we stopping here? 1 second. Here is this drone that has also been patrolling. There are several drones in the area. What do you want to do? Iran wants to launch an attack against a United States aircraft carrier. Really, I think they might try it. If it comes to that, they could launch a ballistic missile attack at the location where the aircraft carrier might be. Can the United States stop it? Well, you can see the P-8 Poseidon here. Would be circling around? Current image? Well, in the end, they decided to send a P-8 Poseidon before sending a drone because they know Iran is not going to shoot down a P-8 Poseidon because that would be a declaration of total war. They can shoot down a drone, but a plane with American soldiers on board is a whole different story. Over here, we're watching it. In theory, the P-8's last signal would already be airborne. On its way back. We see it around here. Current image? It has already finished its mission and would now be returning. Can Iran attack? Yes. They sent that drone to locate the aircraft carrier. They're definitely using drones. And the P-8 has been here. So in this area here, along with Overlord, the drone, the MQ-4, they've also been here. There must be Iranian Navy ships here at the entrance to the strait. And here, from what we can see, there must also be Iranian ships or something that caught their attention. Besides seeing this here, why are they focusing? And are we leaving Parchin? Why are they focusing on that area? We're heading to Bandar Ihaz after we leave. With Asu, this one here, why in Bandar Ihaz? There's an underground facility that they've built down here at the bottom of the island. It's an islet, the thing we see here. And there's what you're about to see now. Images. Exclusive military strategy footage we present here. Let's get it ready. Let's prepare the video. It's practically ready. And this really could worry the United States of America. It definitely could be a concern, which means that danger during. Let's take a look over here. 1 second, family.
Yeah.
There we go. Pay attention to this video. It's an underground facility we've known about for a while. The video isn't new. Here's what we'll see next. Not all vehicles with ballistic missiles, but with anti-ship missiles. Trucks loaded with anti-ship missile launchers. Some made in China, others made in Iran. And what we're seeing here is the coast of Bandar Ihaz. It's an underground facility where there will be an entrance exit or different entry and exit points, where they will quickly deploy these types of trucks to launch missiles. There, give yourselves a pat on the back. You'll see what happens next. Look how many they have. Could they use them to attack the aircraft carrier? If it's less than 1,000 kilometers away, could they? For that, they would need a drone marking the position to send information to that missile. We're seeing it right there. Be careful with this. The missile silo to close the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. The United States knows where it is. Of course. That's why the United States is monitoring the area 24/7 to pinpoint exactly where they are deploying this kind of machinery. That's how war works. Welcome to the 17,000 joining us live. Thanks for being with us on your information channel and in our community. What else do we have? Well, if we've talked about the Bagheri ship, the aircraft carrier, a civilian ship adapted into a kind of aircraft carrier, then we have to talk about it. We have to look at it. We have to see the details of this ship, what it's about, and what it can offer us in this war. Let's watch their promo video first. There we see it. A container ship, a fleet of speedboats like the ones that were sold to Venezuela, or of the same type. Surface ships capable of launching attack drones, speedboats, anti-ship missiles. And they have a capability, that's true, it's undeniable. Is this possible? What strategy would they use to sink an aircraft carrier? A massive attack. Do you see this photo? They're boats. To make a massive attack with boats, all loaded with anti-ship missiles, and launch them all at once. Iran could play a role in this. But can it be effective? Surely not. It likely won't work, but they'll still try. So what do we know? What can we deduce from this? Community? What do you all think in the chat? What is going to happen? What? These are the remains of a Triton drone, just like the one we're seeing, Global Hawk, just like the one we're seeing now, patrolling, which was shot down by Iran because it entered their airspace. Mines, anti-ship mines. American soldiers captured years ago. What's going on? What can we think about this? What? Well, attention.
Film.
I'm giving you an exclusive. I'm giving you a breaking news. The United States of America could, in the initial attack, go and sink Iran's entire fleet. Priority target Bandar Abbas, Bandar El Has, the ship Bagheri, all surface ships. What can they use for this that's very effective? Low cost. For sixth. You're going to see it. They say that. Observe your enemy and learn from him. Pay attention to what you're about to see now. This video compiles all the weapons the United States plans to deploy. You're going to see the topic of the Navy. Something new for the United States? The United States made a weapon that isn't new since it already existed. Sajid-type drones, like the Iranian ones, now have cameras and are improved with greater payload capacity and autonomy. It's obvious. From the littoral combat ships, they can launch attacks with this type of drone against the fleet and navy of Bandar Abbas. Their ships have very little anti-air capability, and it would be much cheaper for them than sending Harpoon missiles to sink them, especially those small boats there. The United States can deploy a protective ring over its ships using loitering drones to hunt down threats. What anti-air defenses do these ships have? There are two types of these boats mounted at the back, with an igla with a man-portable air defense systems, a portable anti-air missile with a very limited range. We've already seen in Venezuela how effective it is, and this could be one of the possible options. Regarding the Iranian aircraft carrier, I'll tell you. Let's call it an aircraft carrier so that, well, Timo's contraption, here we see it. There it is. There is the Iranian Rakmax. This is tremendous. They launch remote-controlled planes at us that you can buy on Timo. Look, this, ready.
Bueno.
Well, let's see. Hit this ship with a single harpoon missile and it explodes. Just one harpoon missile. The thing is, of course, they sell this to us as some kind of last-minute mega equipment. Here they're showing us their models. And they fly, I'm telling you. Some have been proven to be just models that don't fly, but others do fly. This one, for example, does fly. The one we're seeing on the left, not this futuristic one that looks like some kind of DF-35. This one does fly. There are some that do, but take a look at the Rakmax. There's the Rakmax, take a look. A hell of a low radar signature plane. The propulsion system is hidden inside, so it doesn't produce heat. And they bring you a remote-controlled plane with a chimney on the back.
Fears.
I can't believe it. This is what's going to sink a United States of America aircraft carrier. Pay attention. Beautiful, I want one, okay? If there's even a little bit of wind, same thing. The Iranian Rakmax could end up in Siberia. I remember that some time ago, a few months back, we were looking for it. Well, it's wonderful. Now you're going to see how it lands. A few months ago, we were looking for it. And we said, you can buy it on Timo. Imagine that, huh? It even has a retention system for when it lands. Come on, this looks like a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Look at that. All the ground crew there on the surface. It's wonderful, huh? This is wonderful. I'm amazed by this. They've been bombarding social media all day with the video of the Iranian aircraft carrier. Look, the Iranian aircraft carrier would be sunk in a minute. One missile? Seriously? A single harpoon missile would send that ship into orbit. Just one. And it doesn't have any anti-air defense. A harpoon attacks from above, splitting it into 4 pieces. And if it hits from the side, it'll be like the Titanic, an iceberg. It's just that I don't get it. I think that, well, let's see, everyone has what they can. You can't really criticize the bodyguards they have either. Well, have you seen? The aircraft carrier's escort shows up around here. Don't miss it. Last frame. Does a boat show up around here? One of these.
Anyway.
What do you think? What do you guys think? I can't believe it. The aerial Rack-Max, but be careful, they have another one that comes out of the water. I'll show that another day. We'll take a look at Iranian technology. We'll go over some of the details of this whole story. All right? What else do we have? India has just suspended its flights over Iran. Enjoy your meal. Yes. I've already reported from Donald Trump. The chief has spoken. The boss. Trump has spoken. He has spoken.
Por aquí.
There are military strategies, family.
Yeah.
Well, I love this photo. We're closely monitoring Iran. What has Donald Trump said? I've heard Iraq may make a mistake by reinstating Nouri al-Maliki as prime minister. The last time al-Maliki was in power, the country fell into poverty and complete chaos. That must not be allowed to happen again because of his reckless policies and ideologies. If he is elected, the United States will no longer help Iraq, and if we are not there to help, Iraq will have no chance of success, prosperity, or freedom. Let's make Iraq great again. ND? Donald J. Trump. Amazing. Well, more photos of the aircraft carrier thing. Careful. This looks promising. We can see some details here. Like this one. For example, the landing gear is not retractable, which means it's practically impossible to maneuver this thing in flight with landing gear that can't be hidden. It has no maneuverability at all. This is a model, gentlemen. Nothing more and nothing less than a model that doesn't fly. They put 3 wheels on it, a bit of fiberglass. We should give the designer an award. Hey, the idea is cool. I'd buy one for the weekends, and then they bring you this. Then they bring you this device, even with a cabin. It looks like David the Gnome will pilot it, the remote-controlled one. They're putting a goblin in to start maneuvering. You? The air conditioning is in the back. They have air conditioning units. Well, that's already an achievement. I don't even want to imagine what they have under that net. It could already be Iran's top secret project. What do you all think when you see this? Is it a Venezuela, but they're going big? They're pulling a Maduro. What else do we have? Well, we have this. It seems they're also practicing with these futuristic weapons. Desconcubulator, or as Donald Trump calls it, I don't even know how to say it anymore. I'll just call it the DESCOM. It looks like they've also equipped the drones with a set of jet engines so they can dodge or take off quickly. I don't know, it's like some kind of nitrous oxide to give them more speed. Maybe it's to try to launch an attack with this type of drone to give it more impact and penetration capability. Speed it up at the end for more damage. That's the only explanation I see. I don't know, man, but who's here? Is here? Judia's story? Judia will be the most sought-after man for military strategies in the coming days. The leader is here, the leader of the Jamula, Judia's story. Well, let me tell you something. If anyone wants to go to Israel to get to know Israel and to sweat, but really sweat, they should meet up with Judia. story of Ariel Kanievsky and let him take you to Masada. Ariel will take you to Masada. He'll make you walk more than ever in your life. You're going to lose weight. You're going to improve your physical fitness. He's like a personal trainer. He starts taking you walking around Jerusalem. Thank you. What Ariel does is incredible. Al-Aqsa operation and infiltration are still pending. We still have the Al-Aqsa matter pending. Ariel abandoned me to my fate and told you, brother, to enter Al-Aqsa. He opened the door for me. Without him and Ariel, I wouldn't have gone in. He said the magic words, open sesame, and the doors open. What a night. What a night. I miss doing it with Ariel. Soon I'll go Ariel, start getting that roast chicken ready that Ariel makes, which is amazing. I'm telling you, he cooks great. Can I do the full package? The full tour, guide tour dinner. Ariel Kanievsky, Jewish history. You have to subscribe to the channel 100%. Well, we're seeing Ariel here. The inventions of the Iranians? A remote-controlled device? Do you want to compare this? An F-35.
Go.
And well, okay. I won't say I don't think this could destroy the state of Israel. I have doubts about its security. Speaking of crazy people and fanatics, let's move to serious topics. Death, death to a Mary. Death, death to Israel. Death. What is this? What is this? When have you ever seen people in Iraq, in Iran, in Lebanon saying death to something? Please, this is news, okay? It's true, it's true. I see there, Operation Vipers 2.0. Operation Vipers 2.0. Mother of God, look at Nasrallah and everything, huh? Everyone is signing up there, everyone. Well, everyone is signing the letter to commit acts of self-immolation. It's a certificate. This is kind of like visiting the Virgin Islands where they're waiting for all the virgins. To get in, they're going to ask you for this letter. You have to have this letter. If not, you can't get in. You don't have the 72 virgins waiting for you. This is vital. This is vital. Well, these are from the Hezbollah cell in Iraq. Look at them, all desperate to get virgins. I want my 72. I want mine.
It's just incredible. It's just incredible. It's incredible.
Yes, you put your fingers like this. Put them so that later when they get a call, I'm going to be quiet. There it is. There's the signature. Well, this is incredible. They even have kids, even kids. Yeah, put your mask on. He puts on his mask thinking Israel won't notice him, huh? I love this, huh? A certain Israeli defense minister said that. Whoever raises a hand against us will have it cut off. Has it worked for him so far? What you hear? What did Bibi say? What did Netanyahu say about this story? Well, first of all, before we see what Bibi said, look, Bibi is already speaking, huh?
We've been pressured since Gaza is the focus.
Bibi fades to black. We'll put him on now. Now we'll put Bibi on. Let's review the super chats and chat comments, family. What are your thoughts? There's a lot to discuss about this drone threat. Hector, thank you so much. Welcome, Pachano. Welcome. Newsroom. Strategy of the CIE services. We need to know everything perfectly. If Trump doesn't attack, it's because Iran has something, and since they are martyrs, they'll use it as a last resort. Yes, he is going to attack. I can tell you, he's going to attack. I said it about Venezuela. People said, stop spreading rumors. Stop wasting your time. How was it? Prestige? They say I have it, but I don't. I just share stories, and people can believe them if they want. They told me to stop insisting. With Venezuela, nothing will change. I do as I said, they'll attack, and it won't just involve sending a Delta team. Flying a grandfather to Guantanamo by helicopter. This isn't about that. There's going to be an attack here where we're going to see a lot of things. Iran has assets known to the United States and Israel, but they'll be neutralized before being moved, which explains the surveillance. Donald, thank you very much. Welcome, Donald. Thank you for your donation, for your support. Ana Belen, thank you very much. Argento, good evening. Strategy. Which fighter jets are used by the Iranian Air Force? Some F-14S version A, not Tomcats like Mavericks in Top Gun, right? There are a few left. Look, if you want, I can show them to you so people can see. There are a few left. We don't know how many are still flying. They're no longer manufactured. There are no spare parts. They have to make them in China, or they have to manufacture them somewhere else. They're planes that they practically have no capabilities anymore. They can launch anti-ship weapons. They're good planes, but it's the A version, the original version. It's the only country in the world, even during the Shah's era, that received F-14 Tomcat planes. Well, not Tomcat, but the A version, and this is one of them. There we see an F-14. This is Isfahan. It's the Isfahan area. They're planes, the famous planes with wings that could move. To give them more speed or better maneuverability. Well, it's a shame that these planes, which are the last F-14 planes flying in the world, if they still have any left and they haven't been destroyed, this also catches my attention. They might be able to do something, right? These are planes that as soon as they take off, the United States will know immediately. They'll be shot down from afar. These planes can't take down an F-35. I understand that in the latest Top Gun movie, in Maverick, they shot down a fifth-generation jet and all that. But that's not the case here. It's not possible. We're talking about how nowadays air combat isn't dogfighting, meaning it's not fighting with machine guns from plane to plane. These are long distance with anti-aircraft missiles that have active radar, that have incredible capabilities, and the United States leads the market. F-14S have the F-4 Phantom II, which are multi-role fighter bombers. They're heavy F-5 T-35-2. They're light fighters for close support. Any Mikoyan Gurevich 29S, they have old ones. These arrived there in the 90s, but not all of them. The U-24 Fencer could be operational, and these are indeed for deep penetration attack missions. Those could actually carry some anti-ship missile provided by Ukraine at the time. And then they have some domestic production that's a star, just taking off. As soon as you take off, you have to parachute out because you crash. It's literally a plane made for skydiving. So no, it's not really a threat, and it's not there. Thanks a lot for the super chat and your support. Let's continue. People often ask why I only read super chats, so I'll explain and even show you. In my system, there's a screen where I can view and save all the super chats. I don't have time to read the chat because it moves too fast. Sometimes I catch it, but I can't read it all. I handle the live stream, including images, myself. We don't have editors or those resources, and I prefer it that way. They say you're the best cook at home, but I do listen to comments sometimes. I also want to add something. I've seen some debate on social media about whether content creators get paid for making content, if they earn money. I dedicate many hours to this, more than 15 hours a day. At the very least, I think the work I do is interesting. No government pays me. Recently, someone sent me an email insulting me saying that Israel pays me. That's why I talk about Israel. They don't pay me. Parnia, are you finally sending my paycheck? I've waited 3 years, about 845 days, and still haven't received it. Ariel, call them since they still haven't paid me. And, well, this channel is supported by Super Chat, views, advertising, but it just makes sense to me. This content doesn't come out of nowhere. Broadcasting in the quality that this channel is broadcasting in Spanish. I think there are problems. Very few people broadcast like this. I mean, in terms of broadcasting, technically, on a technical level, no. The content. You may like the content more or less, but it's normal. Look, that's a normal job where people are dedicating time and working. So I would ask for a little respect because all channels or almost all channels charge. And I think it's just silly to get into that debate. What matters is you're paid for doing something good, productive, and right. I'll close this topic with this debate. Pablo, that's just a United States submarine ship, not an actual submarine. I think that's the most brainwashing religion in history. I'd rather not get involved in religious matters. Thanks. These Iranians raising their fists, threatening Israel, and they don't know that God is behind them and defends them? I crack up with these people. Also, let me say one more thing just to wrap up the previous topic. The channel has expenses. All the music you hear is copyrighted and has to be paid for, and images have to be bought as well. Live broadcasts during bombings and similar events all require payment. Otherwise, the channel would be shut down by now, would have gotten a complaint, and a strategius would no longer exist. And all of this has a cost. I'm not going to reveal it, but it costs quite a bit. Picture a Tel Aviv broadcast amid falling missiles. Imagine the cost. Everyone is responsible for what they do, but overall, it's fine. Thank you very much, Donald, for that super chat. Let's go with Bibi. What has Bibi said? He discussed Gaza and Iran.
I said that we have paid a price here.
Ariel needs to translate this.
Soldiers are a burden in war. The fallen and the sick are truly a burden. And part of that is what happens in war, but part of that causes it.
Bibi is saying, look, I'm not Hebrew, but I have the translation here. I'm not going to pretend to be some kind of strategist either. He's saying here, Bibi. The Prime Minister of Israel says the following: we paid a very high price in the war. Many fell because Gaza was full of traps and we lacked ammo, partly due to an embargo. First jab at Joe Biden. First jab. First jab. Many fell because we lacked enough ammunition, partly due to an embargo. Do you remember when a few months ago I told you the story of what happened in Gaza, what happened in Jenin and in Rafah? When the rate of soldiers went from 1.5 per day to 5 or 6 per day, all of that happened because Kamala Harris, that sinister being who should be erased from the history of the United States of America. Along with Joe Biden, they denied Israel access to precision munitions. Israel had to send its soldiers into buildings full of traps. To clear them out. On my trip to Israel, I met the unit that lost more than 20 of their friends, by entering a building that was booby-trapped. All because there wasn't enough ammunition to bring the building down. Subscribe. And his companions, with whom I had dinner and spent time there, they told me about each of their stories. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are responsible for the deaths of many Israeli soldiers. And since I'm not from Israel, I don't live in Israel, and I can say whatever I want, I'm saying it clearly. Because of those people, Israel didn't have enough ammunition to wipe out Hezbollah at once, nor to fully defend itself from the Houthis. They were playing with people's lives, and they're bad, really bad. That's why I've always said it, and this is a criticism of Israel, and they're doing it. You have to build your own military independence now. And this is a lesson well learned. Let's continue. I take this seriously because I've met these people, heard their stories, and looked them in the eyes. And this makes me really angry. Let's continue. I decided it's not going to happen again. Israel must build a strong and independent arms industry. Okay, Bibi? Okay, Bibi is saying that a strong and independent arms industry will be built. Okay, that's what we want. Just as we freed ourselves from United States economic aid and strengthened our economy, now we must achieve security maturity within a decade. I intend to put an end to dependence on the financial part of United States military aid and move from aid to partnership. We will promote the joint development and production of advanced weapons with the United States, India, and Germany, and this will ensure stable supply independence and stronger alliances. Our goal is simple: never lack weapons again. Great job, Netanyahu, Bibi. That's where we need to be. Don't let them be missing. Thank you. The more, the better. Bibi is coming. I like Bibi. Today I like Bibi. It's common sense. You can't depend on Trump's weapons, on Biden's weapons, or on whoever comes after. You can't leave your country's security in the hands of others. Never. Bibi. Okay. What did Bibi say about Saudi Arabia? Because this is important too. Netanyahu has mentioned Saudi Arabia. He said this.
Bet I don't want the Saudis.
I don't want the Saudis. Goodbye. I don't want the Saudi leaders.
No Saudi leaders.
Follow these things.
אנחנו עוקבים אחרי הדברים האלה גם כן.
We don't ignore each other.
לא מתעלמים מהם. וברור.
And it's clear that we expect
We said we'd wait.
from everyone, from anyone who wants to negotiate,
Anyone wanting to negotiate,
normalize the agreements.
normalize the peace agreements. Add, don't join us.
Join in and help bring us together.
Be part of the efforts.
How can we say it? How can we say it?
How to say it?
Say it directly by elements.
Directly by elements or ideology. Whoever wants the opposite or whatever they desire.
Opposed to peace.
Israel has become a country of life.
Which is good reading. I award the State of Israel
כל מיני גופים שתוקפים.
and that uses every method and group to attack the state of Israel. I think this is obvious.
זה דבר מובן מאליו.
I'm going to be very happy. Yes.
שמח אם יהיה לנו הסכם.
Can we normalize or can we normalize Saudi Arabia and Israel? We can normalize and have peace with an agreement between Saudi Arabia and Israel.
בהנחה שסעודיה רוצה.
We assume Saudi Arabia wants normalization and peace too. An agreement that ensures security and a strong state of Israel.
וחזקה.
Vivi. The agreement is already in place there. Saudi Arabia is going to have to get fully involved to also protect Israel's skies. I want to explain something to you. I want to explain something to you about geopolitics. I don't know much. You know that I don't know much about this. From my humble opinion, one thing is foreign policy, another thing is politics. Netanyahu is Vivi, Vivi Netanyahu, Benjamin Vivi. One thing is domestic consumption policy. That is, in Saudi Arabia, they say that the state of Israel cannot exist except within the state of Palestine. Jordan states that Palestinian rights must be upheld and Jerusalem should be the capital. One thing is that domestic consumption policy, so there are no protests, so there are no social crises in the countries. Another thing is international policy, the one that happens behind the scenes. Netanyahu has the phone number of the king of Saudi Arabia. The king of Saudi Arabia has Netanyahu's phone number. Netanyahu has the phone number of the king of Jordan. And the king of Jordan has Netanyahu's phone number. They write and talk to each other, thanks. They say, Vivi, I have to go on television and say something. Don't pay attention to me. Turn off the television. You and I are in this together. There's a lot of money at stake, a lot of money at stake. The normalization of relations between Jordan, Saudi Arabia, even with Syria, when the time comes, because it will come at some point in history. It brings in a lot of money, money that Israel will profit from, Jordan will profit from, and Saudi Arabia will profit from. And everything comes together in a very specific place, this area we see here. This triangle of three countries could be the biggest commercial union in the Middle East when it comes to hydrocarbons. Could it be an alternative route to the hegemony that Turkey has, where everything going to Europe has to pass through Turkish land? I'm referring to Garcia. Gas pipelines, oil pipelines coming from Qatar, coming from Saudi Arabia, passing through Iraq. This could change. Alternatives can be built that go through the state of Israel, that reach Cyprus, that go to Greece, and that are transported directly to Europe without passing through Turkey. This is what Turkey fears the most. They are not afraid that Jerusalem won't be the capital of a Palestinian state, or that it won't be the capital of a Muslim state. Turkey fears losing regional economic dominance. That's why they're so upset and want to see Israel sunk in misery, plain and simple. That's why countries like Iran and also countries like Egypt weren't very convinced about a commercial alliance between Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Israel. Why? Because the country of mummies, pyramids, and crocodiles. It has something called the Suez Canal, and it's like the Panama Canal but without locks. The ships enter, go through the Suez Canal, and enter the Mediterranean. Let's say it's the most important bottleneck in the world's maritime area, the Suez Canal. That's why wars were declared in the past. But what would happen, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Israel, if they built an alternative here, the Ben Gurion Canal, thanks to which it would cross the Negev Desert and provide another alternative route to the Egyptian one. Many dislike this, which is the main issue. However, Saudi Arabia knows its future relies on commercial ties with Israel. They know this potential client could greatly help them technologically. Jordan has been shooting down Iranian drones to protect Israel. They are partners. Jordanians have banned the Muslim Brotherhood. They don't like the Palestinians, but those are internal policies of each country, which we don't really understand. We comment on how bad the Saudis and Jordanians are. With Israel, then there's something else behind it. There are deals, there are important business opportunities that obviously Israel has to take advantage of. Israel has to be the economy, one of the regional economies, which it already is. In fact, it already is and does it well. Thank you so much, Andrea Villar, for gifting those 50 memberships. Thank you. Now from here we see ourselves crossing the border between Jordan and Saudi Arabia without stamping passports between Israel. You'll see the day will come, the day will come. All right? What are they saying? Thank you. Have you heard the following? Vivi said, Israeli Defense Forces fighters died due to a lack of ammunition, but this changed after Trump was elected president. It's clear. I think we all knew this. The thing is, Vivi couldn't say it, but I think it's clear. It was more than obvious, plus everything that was happening. Well, family, this is where we stop for now. Thank you so much, Netanyahu. Thank you so much to everyone. See you in the next show here on Military Strategies. Greetings.